Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. We're going from right to left on your screen. Check on the Marcus Hildebrand. We've got a great penalty. Illegal cross check to the Outlaws. That is number 42 with the penalty. The Outlaws illegal cross check. That is Wade Manning with the penalty there. Out of the Sherwood Park organization. Ball starting up top at 22 Teller. Crease to Hackett. To Mitchell. Teller at the top. To Mitchell. To Hackett. Lost possession. Gets it to Hackett, down to Mitchell. Ball's an X behind the net. Hackett misses the pass. He chased down our quarter there. Ball's in the corner of corner. He sets up on the corner. Over to Brownlee. Brownlee to hit. Big hit by Hildebrand. Up to Lewis. Lewis back to Brownlee. Brownlee to corner inside. Stopped by John Lewis. Missed by Rex Check here. Check out of the Titans organization. Over to Runco. Hackett over to Teller. To Runco. Back to Teller. To Runco. To Mitchell. Picked up by Yusuf and pressed by Art. To Colby Hayne. Hayne with the ball. That is Matt White reffing. He reffed the Junior A games these past couple days too. Penalty to Cale Harris. 2 minutes for an illegal body check to 44 Cale Harris. Ball's going to start with Taylor Outlaw. Over to Hackett. Down low to Mitchell, behind the net to Crunwell. Runco, back to Crunwell to Mitchell. To Crunwell, tries a quick stick, gets stopped by McLeod there. Goes over to Hackett. Back down low to Mitchell. Behind the net to Crunwell. Tried to skip it to Hackett up top. Impressed by Porter Jamieson. Good work on the PK there by the Outlaws. Runco retrieves the loose ball. Skips it over to Hackett. To Mitchell. Misses the net on that shot. Jamieson picks up the ball. Over to Mitchell. Down low to Lewis. Sorry. The ball is thrown out of play. We're going Crude ball here. Ball grabbed by Rush Schick. Passes to Runco, up to Teller. Teller's going to be the top of the power play again, it looks like. Over to Hackett. With it to Smith there. Smith dodges inside. Outlaws power play here. First of the game. Bradley up top. Lewis and Porter on the crease. Good crowd here in Drumagin Arena for Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there listening. Booth has played some games for the Outlaws in the past. We're up here, he tries to be there. We're on 4 here. Kyle Jameson. Teller swings it over to Runco, over to Hackett. Hackett goes behind the net to Mitchell. Back to Hackett. Over to Teller, just missing some pass. Teller tried to look for the dunk there. Hildebrand. Back to Brownlee. Ball goes back pass. Go loose. Ball up top to Dickon. Steps in. Jake Smith runs the floor here for the Crude. It's the ball over to Braden Crunwell. Big kick there, being defended there by Colby Hain. Brandon Crude gets out of it. Runs into Cale Harris. Harris picks up the loose ball. Chase Richardson steps up there into the triple. It's good to keep the triple in the ball. That was 5. Hackey gets away there, but misses in there on that shot. Got 11:04 remaining here in the first quarter. 2-0 Crude. Shots are 10-5 for the Crude. Ball up top with Brownlee. Over to Manning. The Hildebrand steps in. Pick up by the offset for the Crude as well. Mitchell, 5-on-5 across now. Mitchell hits Brownlee on the slip there and tries to get it in. That's stopped by Willis. Back in there by the Crude. They're going Outlaws ball. Mitchell with the ball to Hildebrand up top. Over to Manning. Mitchell steps in outside left. Inside there. That's too early, man. Yeah, the left side. Outlaws ball here, and they're going to the power play as well. Brownlee, Porter, Jamison, Lewis, and Hildebrand. Lewis, down to Jay. Picked up by Lewis. That's in, shot by Lewis. Ball picked up by Lewis. To Hildebrand, to Jamison, back to Lewis, to Hildebrand, outside shot. Ball rolls into the corner, going to be retrieved by the Outlaws there, grabbed by Kyle Jamison. Jamison played with the Junior A Miners last year. Throw the ball down the floor. They got to be smarter with that. Got to use the trade the clock there. Power play start. The Hildebrand commits to up top. Steps in. Gets stiff there by the defender. On the Crude number 19. Being tripled. by quarter there. Hacked and whacked. We keep pressuring them. Third guy runs into the double there. So 8:19 remaining here. Crude Bank's not happy with something they've seen on the floor. AJ Beaumont and Andrew McCormick on the bench for the Crude. Dean Casey, Tim Ellis, and Kenny Brown on the bench for the Outlaws. 5 seconds up for the first here. Mitchell, outside shot. That's the reset. Good work for freezing that ball here. Still up. Go down over the corner. Pick up our corner. Keep running in transition. Transition. Mitchell with the ball. Wait for everyone to get on the floor. Over to Hopkins. Ball missed the net by Arndt there. It's going to be over and back. Outlaws possession. Goalie water break. 7:19 remaining here in the first period. Crude lead 3-0. Shots are 11 for the Crude, 12 for the Outlaws. You're watching here on NetFront Sports from Jerome McGinley Arena.
And we will be back with you. We're back here. Ball starts in the corner with Dickin to Manning. Sets a pick there. Manning tries to come over top. Was looking for Mitchell behind the net. That's a big hit by McCormick. Throws Mitchell down. Mitchell is banged up. Sheck running in transition. Big stop by McLeod there on Booth. Tried to jam it in. Goes to Jamison running in transition. To Bialchuk. To Lewis. Nice face dodge. Crease violation. Oh, we've got a penalty. Looks like it's Kyle Jamison going to the box there. Some unhappy parents in the stands. It's going to be Jamison. 2 minutes for an off-ball slash. Ball's going to start with Teller up top. Over to Runco. To Crunwell. To Runco. Back to Teller up top. To Mitchell. To Hackett, hits Runco. Just misses with the underhand shot. Over and back, we're going Outlaws ball here. Ball picked up by Manning, being pressed by McCormick there. Ball thrown away by the Outlaws, picked up by Arndt in transition. Good work to pull it out there. Looked like he was going to try to go 2 for 2 on the fast break, but pulls it out. Smart move. Aren't a highly touted player in the Titans organization. Teller to Runco. Up to Teller up top. Over to Hackett. Hackett tried to shoot it far side there. Runco up top just misses the shot. Ball's going to start in the corner with Mitchell. Good to see him back on the floor. Mitchell up to Manning. One of the best periods, maybe the best period the Crude have played so far this year. Being pressed out, Manning being pressed out there. Loses the ball. 2 hands there by Sheck. Picked up by Palmer. Down the floor to 19. Misses the net on that shot. Picked up by Tyler Shelton. Shelton got a couple games in with the Junior A minors in Saskatoon last weekend. Over to Dickin as Mitchell off the bench. Just missed. Good D there by Arndt. They're all over Carter Mitchell today. Ball grabbed by McCormick. McCormick to Runco. I think that's Teller steps in. Up to Mitchell. Over to Hackett. I think he got a stick on that there. Being pressed in the corner by Porter there. To Runco behind the net. Teller with the bouncer in the corner. Picked up by Richardson there behind the net. Manning with the ball being guarded by Crunwell. Over to Hildebrandt. To Brownlee. Nice rattle play back to Hildebrandt. Bialchuk picks up the rebound. Another stop by Danny Willis on the doorstep there. Sheck being pressed there by Manning. Runs into Hayne there. Crunwell with the ball. Over to Kuhn behind the net. Runco being guarded by Harris. Comes around, outside shot, stopped by Reed McLeod. Cook with the ball. Up to Lewis. Lewis can run downhill here if he wants it. Up top to Brownlee, back to Lewis. Guy wide, Dickens wide open on the crease. Tries to go far side there. Good stop by Danny Willis. Grabbed by Smith in transition. Runs into a double. Gets away from it. Misses the net on the shot though. Jamison picks up the ball. Over to Richardson, but he tosses it away. Shelton gets over half. Over to Hildebrandt. To Manning. To Mitchell. Outside rip by Mitchell, stopped by Willis. Mitchell with it again, gets the reset. Over to Manning. Manning to Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt with the face dodge on Booth, runs downhill. Unsportsmanlike penalty to Carter Mitchell, it looks like. Looks like it's going to be Teller up top again. Looks like they want to wipe of the floor. Looks like we got a floor wipe again here. Crude power play here. Teller up top again. Over to Runco. To Crunwell at X behind the net. To Hackett. Back to Crunwell behind the net. Back to Hackett. Crunwell tries to jam it there on the quick stick. Outlaws got to start being aware of that. They've went there 3 or 4 times already. They got to make an adjustment. Big stop there by McLeod on Teller. Teller to Crunwell. Up top to Runco. Over to Hackett. There's that quick stick again. Big stop by McLeod. The Outlaws got to make an adjustment there. Look for Kim Ellis and Dean Casey to adjust to that at intermission. Ball's with Runco. Over to Mitchell. To Runco. Runco downhill. Big stop by McLeod. 1:25 left in the first period here. McLeod goes down the floor to Porter. Porter can run into that. Probably could have been an interference there. Ball grabbed by Hackett. They've got numbers if they want it. Over to Crunwell. Crunwell jams it far side low on Reed McLeod. For nothing Crude. Crunwell with the ball there, with the goal there, sorry. Ball picked up by McCormick here. Another delayed penalty to the Outlaws. Top to Kuhn, tries to go low on McLeod there. Got an illegal cross check to Cale Harris, 44. Ball starts up top with Teller. Over to Runco to Crunwell. To Hackett, tried to jam it in there. They're running in transition. That's 66 from the Outlaws, just misses. Ball grabbed by Teller there, 21 seconds left. To Durant. Durant settles down to Mitchell. 12 seconds left. Mitchell up top to Runco. To Mitchell, misses the pass. Picked up by McLeod. Just going to dump it down the floor. And that's the end of the first period here. St. Albert Crude lead the Beaumont Outlaws 4-0. Crude are out shooting the Outlaws 20-15 here on NetFront Sports, live from Jerome McGinley Arena. We will be back with you after the 10-minute break. Thank you very much. Welcome back to Carole McGinley Arena here in St. Albert, Alberta. In the game between the Beaumont Outlaws and the Crude Lacrosse Club. Crude are on the power play with Harris in the box. Up top with Teller. Oh, and he loses the ball in the corner there. Crunwell picks it up. Crunwell steps in. He tried to pick short side there. It was open. Just missed on McLeod. Ball's with Mitchell. Steps in. Bouncer misses it. It's going to be Outlaws ball here. Picked up by Dickin behind the net. Just going to start in the corner. They're, over to Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt being guarded by Palmer there. Comes over top. Over to Manning. Gets an up pick by Dickin. Over to Hildebrandt. Misses a shot there. Quite wide. Ball grabbed by Arndt. Arndt over to Runco. To Teller. To Mitchell. To Crunwell. To Mitchell. To Teller. Big stop by McLeod there. I think that should have been over and back, but Runco has the ball. Over to Hackett, and he bobbles it. To Teller. To Runco, tries to, I'm not sure if that was short side, bounce shot. No, a hit, picked up by Richardson. He's got Owen McKenna with him, running in transition. Richardson tries to jam it into Bialchuk, being guarded by Teller. Over to Manning, over to Mitchell, and he bobbles it. Mitchell comes over top. Tried to go low, far side there, just misses. They want another floor wipe. Not sure what's going on. It's not too humid in this arena. Ball's in the corner with Crunwell. Over top to Smith, back to Runco. Being guarded by Hugh. Runco tries to come underneath. Big stop by McLeod there, that was good. He's got Mitchell running in transition. Carter breakaway, nice goal. Carter Mitchell gets the Outlaws on the board. Nice assist there to Reed McLeod of the Outlaws. 4-1 Crude, 17:25 remaining in the second period here on NetFront Sports. Ball, loose ball there, picked up by, it's going, Crude ball. Arndt with the ball. Moving pick called on the Crude. Picked up by Jamison. Pretty sloppy game here so far from both teams. Brownlee picks it up. Carries the ball over top to Hildebrandt on the roll. Draws a penalty on, I'm not sure who that is, Arndt. I think he might have drawn a second one there too. He's definitely going for holding, but might have got the second one for cross-check. We'll see what the refs are calling here. Yep. 4 minutes, 2 minutes hold, 2 minutes legal cross check for that extra shot on the ground. 4-minute power play here for the Outlaws. Brownlee, Hildebrandt, Mitchell, Lewis, and Porter. Brownlee up top. To Lewis. To Mitchell behind the net. That's a dunk, Carter Mitchell. Carter Mitchell with the dunk on the power play. 4-2 Crude, 16:41 left. Outlaws remain on the power play for 2 minutes. Harris and Booth in the face-off dot. Cale Harris wins it. He's got numbers. He's going to go to the net here. Cale Harris, stopped by Danny Willis. Tried to jam it in there, far side low on him. Picked up by Dickin. Running downhill. Outside shot. Misses the net there with the bouncer. Over to Mitchell. Up top to Hildebrandt. Back to Mitchell. To Hildebrandt. To Lewis. Outside shot. Kieran Lewis. Far side on Willis. 3 quick goals for the Outlaws to get back in this game. 4-3 Crude lead here. 16:13 left in the second period on NetFront Sports. Crude need to stay disciplined here. Got to stay out of the box. Harris wins that draw to Chase Richardson. Richardson, also a former Crude Lacrosse Club member. I coached him here for a year. Crunwell being pressed by Hildebrandt there. Over to Teller. Crude got to settle here. They need a full possession. Teller running downhill behind the net. Being guarded by Hain. Up top to Hackett. Over to Teller. Good D there by Brandon Hugh. Picked up by McLeod. He's got Richie Lucid in transition. Get under it, Richie. Nice try. Richie, also a former Crude Lacrosse Club member. Ball goes to Runco here. Runco to being guarded by Hugh there. Hugh, a Tier 2 Titans product last year. Pretty good face-off guy they picked up. Just misses Mitchell there. Being guarded by Richardson. Runs into that pick by Mitchell. Kuhn comes over top with the sidearm shot. Shoots around the screen there. Misses the net. Picked up by Porter. Just missed Manning coming off the bench. Ball picked up by Durand here. He's going to pull it out, slow it down. Yeah. Being pressed by Mitchell. Great stick check by Carter Mitchell. Mitchell on a breakaway. Big stop by Willis. Tried to jam it through the 5-hole there with a bit of a twister. Carter Mitchell's got lots of jam to his game. Love watching that kid play. Booth up top, over to 24. To Booth. Booth running downhill. Bouncer stopped by McLeod. They need another wipe. I don't recall a game in Aginla this early in the season where there's been this many wipes in the past couple of years at least. 4-3 Crude lead. 14:17 left to play in the second period here on NetFront Sports. Carter Mitchell with 2 quick ones and Kieran Lewis with 1. Ball starting at the Outlaws end with Kyle Jamieson. Jamieson starts with the ball here. Jamieson over to Lewis. Misses the pass there, being guarded by Arndt. Loose ball still, grabbed by Lewis. Probably could have been a holding call there on McCormick, but we got away with one. Hildebrandt, outside shot, pulled it short there. Hildebrandt face dodge, nice reset on Willis. Watch out, yeah, Jamieson and Brownlee, 2-on-1. Jamieson with it to Brownlee, and he scores. Jump shot, fake far, go short, wrong side of the floor too there by Brownlee. Nice little goal. 4-4 Crude Outlaws. We've got a tie game here at the Aginla. 13:34 left in the second period here. Ball picked up by Hain. Still loose here. We're going Crude ball here, picked up by Smith. Running along the wall. Face dodge. Good D there by the Outlaws. Runco here, the captain for this Crude team. Up top to Hackett. Over to Kuhn. Crease violation. Reed McLeod going for the touchdown pass to Porter, just off his back foot. Tried the Tom Brady there. Runco with the ball here. Runco over to Teller. McLeod with the ball, goes to Cook. Cook to Carter Mitchell here. Mitchell has the ISO if he wants it. Look for him outside shot. Yeah, short side. Carter Mitchell. 5-4 Outlaws. Carter Mitchell pulled it short side there. Had a little bit of space just outside the 24-foot. Nice shot on the run. Harris and Mitchell in the face-off dot there. Big hit there by Richardson. Richardson and Mitchell battling there. We got Harris and Smith tied up in the middle. Just missed Hackett on the BTB there. Look at Mitchell down the floor. Carter Mitchell got a breakaway if he wants it. Outside shot stopped by Willis. Tried to go far side there. Yeah, that's a real dumb penalty by Mitchell on Booth. That was not smart. Crude are going back to the power play with a chance to even up the game. Ball's up top with Teller. Over to Runco. Back to Teller up top. To Mitchell. To Hackett. To Runco. Runco tries to dive. It's going to be Outlaws ball here. That is Richie Lucid with the ball. Gives it to Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt in his final year of junior lacrosse. Being guarded by Scheck. Goes over to Lewis, who's in his first year of junior lacrosse. Up to Brownlee. Another rookie added to the Outlaws squad this year. Not sure what that was there. I think he shot it. Maybe a Crude defender got his foot on it. Ball picked up by number 6 on the Crude. Goes to Teller. Teller with the ball. To Hackett. To Runco. to Mitchell, behind the net to Crunwell, to Hackett, face dodge. Nice short side stop on the quick stick by McLeod. Runco, shot from outside there. Porter running in transition, being guarded by Hackett. Porter can run downhill if he wants. Over to Hildebrand, to Brownlee. Dickin comes over top there with the sidearm. Over to Hackett. Running on the wrong side of the floor. Picked off there by Jamieson. To Lewis. Jamieson wide open on the crease, goes, buries it far side high on Danny Willis. 6-4 Outlaws, 9:43 left in the second period here on NetFront Sports. Harris and Booth in the face-off dot here. Welcome back to NetFront Sports. We just had the goalie water break. Richardson running in transition. Big stop by Danny Willis. That's a very good save by Danny. Richardson tries to go far side there. Booth throws it away. Back to Richardson. Richardson being guarded by Booth. Over to Lewis. Lewis has Mitchell running downhill. Just misses the pass. Rebound picked up by Brownlee in front of the net there. Big stop by Willis. Mitchell creating space. He's got the ISO again if he wants it. He's going to run downhill. Oh, no. To Lewis. Outside shot, far side, high. Nice goal by Kieran Lewis there. Unsportsmanlike penalty to Carter Dickin. Unsportsmanlike this is this ref's favorite call. I've seen him call it about 10 times in the last day and a half here. It's going to be a Crude power play. Outlaws lead 7-4, 9:01 remaining in the second period here. Loose ball. Picked up by Crunwell of the Crude. Runco, Teller. Porter running in transition. Pulls it out. Good work there by the Outlaws. Not a smart pass there. Ball picked up by Hildebrandt. He walks the red line here. Hildebrandt runs downhill on Runco. Flips up to Mitchell. 8 seconds on the shot clock here. Mitchell being guarded. It's going to come over top. Pulls it for... Nice goal. Carter Mitchell carries the ball high. Runs around the 24-foot and pulls it short side there. 8-4 Outlaws lead in the second period here. Timeout called by the Crude here. Coach AJ Joma is going to bring the troops in, try to settle the boys down. We're back here from Dromaginla Arena. Outlaws jump early. Crude ball here. Crude are on the power play for 58 seconds left. 7:58 remaining in the second period here on NetFront Sports. Outlaws lead 8-4. Outlaws have stormed back in this second period with 8 goals. Runco, nice goal. Jams it short side on the power play. 8-5, Outlaws lead. Well, that's a good goal by the Crude there to stop the bleeding. Fernando Runco, their captain. Nice catch and shoot from inside the 24-foot. Buries it short side on McLeod. Harris and Mitchell in the dot. Harris wins that. Ball's up top with Hildebrandt. Over to Lewis. Picked up by Manning. Yeah, outside shot by Manning. Good stop by Danny Willis there. Ball grabbed by Hildebrandt. Delayed penalty coming up for the Crude. That's Lewis over to Hildebrandt. Back to Lewis, to Hildebrandt, to Mitchell, to Jameson, to Brownlee. Jameson wide open on the crease. Big stop by Danny Willis there. Nice save by Danny. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell's got the hot stick right now. Back to Lewis. To Manning, behind the net, to Brownlee. Tries to dunk it. Big stop by Willis there. Got some rough stuff going on in the corner. I see former Crude goaltender Will Horde in between the benches there in his fancy new Rebels hoodie, it looks like. Huge fan of Will Horde here. I think he's the best goalie in Junior B lacrosse right now. Arndt, Mitchell, and Hildebrandt in the box. And Brownlee. Nope. He's just giving him some gear. Gonna let the refs sort this out here. I believe 78 is Kohut. 19 is Matt White. I do know that, and I'm not sure who this ref is on the glass. So it's going to be a Crude power play here. Not sure how McCormick didn't get one there as he started the melee there with that extra shot on Mitchell when he was on the ground. Ball's up top with Brownlee. To Porter, to Lewis, behind the net to Mitchell. Big stop on the dunk by Willis. We're going to have it's going to be a penalty to Danny Willis there. 5-on-3 power play here for the Outlaws. To Jamison, down low to Mitchell. Mitchell's got space. Look for one of the two crease guys to attack for the Outlaws with the Crude playing too high here. Porter to Jamison to Lewis. Misses on the shot. Retrieved there by Brownlee up top. Jamison tried to skip it there to the crease. Picked up by Booth. Loose ball there, retrieved by McLeod. Jamison with it. Mitchell's got it. Slow it up here. Use the 4-on-3, 5-on-3. They'll go 4-on-3 though. Crude playing too high again. Look for one of the crease guys to attack here. That's where you got the advantage. Mitchell to Brownlee on the crease. Crease violation. That was a goal, but Brownlee foot across the line there. Tried to go far side on him. We're going Outlaws ball here. Ball in the corner with Carter Mitchell. Mitchell over to Dickin, to Brownlee, to Porter. Nice stop by Danny Willis there. Mitchell. Down low to Brownlee. To Dickin, that is. To Mitchell. Tries to jam it in. To Porter. Beats him far side on the bounce shot. Outlaws up 9-5 here with 4:31 left in the second period. A 9-1 run for the Outlaws in the second period right now. Another wipe on the floor. Mitchell and Harris in the face-off dot here. Mitchell and Harris battle here, picked up by Carter Mitchell. That was Ethan Mitchell in the face-off dots. 10 seconds left on the power play here for the Outlaws, 5-on-4. So Brownlee. Outside shot, far side high. Kieran Lewis gets it. Hildebrandt's chirping a little bit coming out of the bench there, out of the box. 10-5, Outlaws lead here. 4:11 remaining in the second period on NetFront Sports. Mitchell and Harris again in the draw, picked up by Carter Mitchell. Carter Mitchell's been all over it today. Best guy on the floor. Mitchell over to Manning, to Lewis. Lewis with the face dodge, tries to dunk. Stopped by Willis there. Arndt runs into a double with Lewis and Brownlee. Brownlee wide open on the crease. Off the post. Waited Willis out, but can't beat the iron. Runco running downhill, it looks like. To Crunwell. Richardson picks it up. Being pressed out by Cook. Runco with the ball up top, over to Mitchell. To Hackett. Big stop by Reed McLeod there. Nice save. Richardson running in transition. That was a bit early. That's going to be too many men, Outlaws. Two guys for the Crude going to the box. And too many men penalty for the Outlaws there. I'm not sure what the refs are telling the box here what we're doing. Crude Outlaws power play here. Brownlee up top to Jamieson, back to Brownlee, to Jamieson, to Lewis. Lewis downhill. Ball grabbed by Jamieson. To Mitchell. To Jamieson. To Brownlee. On the crease to Porter there. To big stop off the post there too. Willis got a bit of it on Brownlee. Brownlee with the ball up top again, over to Lewis, to Porter, to Brownlee. Brownlee up top, over to Lewis, skips it to Mitchell, to Brownlee up top, outside shot, stopped by Danny Willis. Here's Smith running in transition. Has a guy sneaking behind him, Hackett. Nice stop there by Reed McLeod. It's be a slash on Lewis. Looks like it happened in the change box is my guess. Ball's up top with Teller. 4-on-4. To Hackett. Down low to Teller on the wrong side of the floor, but gets out of it. Up to Kuhn. Over to Runco, but just misses the pass. To Hackett. Big stop there by McLeod. Ball picked up by Hugh. Grabbed by Runco. Owen McKenna there picks up that loose ball. By Shelton, just misses the pass there. Grabbed by Arndt, runs down. Big stop by McLeod there. I do believe we're going Outlaws ball here. It's up by Jameson. Over to Dickin. Up top to Hildebrand. Hildebrand with the ball. Outlaws are short right now. Manning to Hildebrand, wide open. I'm not sure how that happened. He got wide open behind the D there. Well, they were short. Ball picked up there by Sheck. Over to Arndt. Arndt down low to Britton. To Arndt, to Runco. To Hackett, to Britton behind the net. Tries to dunk. Ball picked off there by Porter. Big stop by Willis there. Clock was running low. After 2 here at the Dromagen Arena, we've got Beaumont Outlaws 10, St. Albert Crude 5. Outlaws won that period 10-1. Stormed back from a 4-0 deficit in the first. We've got a 10-minute break here on NetFront Sports, and we will be back. everyone, welcome back here on NetFront Sports. 10-5, Outlaws lead the Crude here going into the third period. Ball's up top with Jamison, over to Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt being guarded by Sheck on the ISO. He's got Lewis coming from the box. Nice roll by Hildebrandt, tries to jam it short side. Rolled underneath on Sheck there. Sheck with the ball. Over to McCormick. To Mitchell. To Kuhn. To 24 on the Crude. Over to Runco. Runco running downhill to the net. Good slide there by Porter. To Kuhn, just misses a pass, picked up by 24. It's going to be Outlaws ball, grabbed by Porter. Porter over to Hain. Hain running along the wall. Up top to Manning. Over to Dickin. To Mitchell. Mitchell to Brownlee. Brownlee's carrying the ball over the top. Comes around the screen there, looks for Mitchell. Back to Brownlee's wide open. Yeah, outside shot. And that's a goal by Kason Brownlee. 11-5, Outlaws lead. 18:47 to go in the third period here on NetFront Sports. Brownlee, a St. Albert product. Nice outside rip there. Booth and Harris in the dot here. Won by Harris. Over to Mitchell. He's got McKenna driving down the middle there. To Hildebrandt. To McKenna. To Lewis, outside shot. Pulls it with the face dodge. Big stop by Willis there. Smith running along the wall here. Over to Hackett. Hackett to Mitchell. Being guarded by Cook here. Just missed Britton on the roll. Over to Teller. Teller to Runco. Big stop by McLeod there. Cook running along the wall. Over to McKenna. McKenna to Brownlee. Brownlee up top with the ball. Running on the boards there to Mitchell. Mitchell outside rip, nope. Pulls it back, over to Lewis. Lewis tries to go short side there to Mitchell. McCormick swings his stick there, probably could have been a penalty. Ball picked up by Sheck, looks like he's gonna be pressed by Mitchell. Not a smart play at all. Picked off by Lewis, running downhill. Big stop by Willis there, bails out his team. Crunwell being guarded by Hugh. Misses the ball, picked up by Lucid. Lucid over to Porter. Porter slows it up here, being guarded by Arndt. Up top to Manning. Over to Jamison. To Dickin. Looks for Mitchell. Mitchell to Porter. Oh, nope. Tries to jam it inside to Dickin, and Danny Willis scores on himself. That's another one for Carter Mitchell there. Looks like Danny is pulling himself, I guess. He's left the floor, not sure. Looks like we're gonna get a goalie switch here. They didn't signal for one. It looks like Willis pulled himself. Capella's gonna go in. Draw one by Harris, battling with Booth. Jamison over to Mitchell. Top to Manning, over to Harris. Harris being guarded by Smith, battling for that loosey. Harris to Lewis, just misses. The ball is going to be picked up by Arndt here in the corner. Lewis with the penalty there. Retaliation slash on McCormick. Arndt gets stopped running downhill there. The fast break. Couple whistles going. Yeah, we're going to go slash here to Lewis. Retaliatory slash there. Ball's going to start up top with Teller here. Teller to Runco, to Britton, to Teller, or to Runco, to Mitchell, down low to Hackett. Hackett skips it to Runco. Stopped by McLeod there. McLeod looking for Porter. Nice snag by Porter there. Running in transition. Yeah, short side. Capella's signal thing, that was on him there. Porter jammed it there, short side high. 13-5, Outlaws lead. 15:29 left in the third period here on NetFront Sports. Ball picked up by Arndt off the draw there. Arndt's going to step into it. Big stop by McLeod. Tried to pull it short side there. Good game by Reed McLeod so far here. Settled in after a relatively shaky first. Runco back to Hackett. To Runco. Nice stop again by McLeod. Ball's up top with Arndt there. Over to Hackett. Hackett down low to Arndt. Arndt to Hackett. Hackett behind the net to Arndt on the quick stick. Big stop by McLeod there. Going to be a loose ball push on the Outlaws. Crude ball. Mitchell with the ball and down low to Hackett. To Arndt behind the net there to Hackett. Back to Arndt. To Hackett. Still a loose ball there, picked up by Crunwell. Delayed penalty coming to the Outlaws. Big stop by McLeod on Crunwell there. Nice, well-placed shot. Tried to pull it short side on him. Brandon Hugh, 2 minutes slashing. 5-on-3 power play for the Crude. Ball up top with Teller. To Runco. To Mitchell. To Hackett. Behind the net to Britton. To Mitchell. Hackett. To Britton. To Runco. Tried to stuff it short side. Big stop by McLeod though. Shelton runs out of danger there. Lewis, he's got wide open run to the cage there. Skips it to Mitchell. Up top to Hildebrandt. They're going to kill some of the clock here. Hildebrandt low, picked up by Crunwell's running with it. Being guarded by Mitchell. Over to Runco. Over to Mitchell. Good stick there by Porter. To Teller. To Hackett. to Mitchell. Tries to hit Britton on the cut. Ball with McKenna over to Bialchuk. Nice wrap check by Mitchell there. Pressures him too. Mitchell with the ball. Teller just mishandles the pass there, picked up by Crunwell. Over to Mitchell, who mishandles the pass. Picked up by McLeod there. Over to McKenna. Nice pass there by McLeod with the Woody. Over to Lewis. Lewis being guarded here by Kuhn. Nice swim dodge, running down the boards there. Gets a pick from Manning to create a bit of space. Over to Mitchell, being guarded by Arndt. Over to Lewis, outside shot, just misses. Picked up by Manning, wide open. Inside the 24-foot, buries the rebound. 14-5, Outlaws lead. 12:02 left here in the third period on NetFront Sports from the Jerome McGinley Arena, formerly known as Ainsdale. Harris and Booth in the face-off dot. Outlaws are expecting Harris to win it to himself. And he does. They've got numbers now. Mitchell with it, runs down low. Faked the dunk attempt there. To Dickin. Over to Brownlee. To Hildebrandt behind the net. Mitchell's behind the net with that dunk. Over to Dickin, back to Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt, outside shot, bouncer. Stopped by Capella. Capella over to Arndt. Being pressed here by Mitchell. Arndt running in transition. Good D there by Jamieson. The ball is thrown away there. Ball picked up in the corner by Brownlee. Brownlee over to Manning. Manning's got the lane. Short side off the post there. He had a little bit of space, tried to pick it. Ball picked up by Hildebrandt here. Over to Manning. Manning over to Mitchell. Mitchell outside shot. Hildebrandt grabbed the ball there, but they're saying goalie had possession in the crease, so no goal. Ball's with Palmer. Goes to Kuhn. Missed the pass there. McKenna's running in transition. He's got Richardson with him. Goes up top to Shelton. Shelton to Mitchell. Mitchell to McKenna. Up top to Brownlee's got a wide open lane. Shot stopped by Capella. It's a good stop there by Capella. Good run there by Crunwell. It's a big hit there by Hain. Runs out of it. Picked up by Porter. He's got Lewis if he wants it. Porter with the ball. Up top to Manning. Manning over to Mitchell. Mitchell to Hildebrandt. To 42, Manning. Outside shot stopped by Capella. Hildebrandt with it to Mitchell along the half wall. Come around that seal if he wants. We're going to say move and pick to the Outlaws. Smith with the ball. Flips it to Runco. Runco over to Hackett. To Mitchell. Teller tries dunk, stopped by McLeod there. Picked up by Hugh. Hugh over to Jamieson. He's got numbers, 2-on-1. To Hain, behind the back to Jamieson. Just misses the net. Ball picked up by Runco there. Runco to Mitchell. Outside shot, stopped by McLeod there. Picked up by Harris. Nope, bobbles it. Grabbed by Runco, but that's a pretty high hit. We got a lot. Harris is going to the box. McKenna's going to the box. Arndt's going to the box. We'll let the ref sort this out here. Ball's down low with Britton. Over to Runco. To Hackett. Just mishandles the pass. Hackett over to Mitchell. To Runco. No goal on the dunk. Landed in the crease before it went in. Ball's with Porter. They got numbers if they want it. Porter over to Mitchell. Wide open, 28. Stopped on the crease there. That was Richie. Richie Lucid. Yeah, that's on the back. Richie's going to the box. Going to be a 5-on-3 power play for the Crude here. Delayed penalty. Mitchell with the ball. Guarded by Richardson. Over to Runco. Stopped by McLeod. I do believe Arndt is done for the game, probably hit the 5 penalty limit. Yeah, he is hitting the showers early. Crude are going to have to send their in-home to the box. Ball's going to start up top with Teller. To Hackett, to Mitchell, to Hackett, to Mitchell behind the net, Runco, to Teller, to Hackett. The Crude got to get this ball hopping quicker. Runco, no. Yeah, ball picked up by Porter here. The Crude got to move that ball quicker, get the goalie moving on the 4-on-3 advantage. Porter with the ball. He's going to try to kill the clock here. Mitchell up top. Yeah. Over to Mitchell and McCormick. Over and back on Mitchell. Ball picked up by Teller there. Teller's going to run downhill. Pulls up. Goes to Hackett. To Hackett, down to, not sure who that is, 24. Right in the chest by McLeod. Stop. Hackett over to Runco. Stop by McLeod. Still got the two-man advantage. They got to get this ball hopping, get the goalie moving. The ball's loose, picked up by Hackett. Porter's going to press him out. Ball retrieved by Porter. He's got numbers. Numbers, Porter and Brownlee. Brownlee buries it far side. Crease dive. Brownlee looking like a young Keegan Ball there. I've seen Baller do that a handful of times on breakaways. Looks like it's going to be Booth and Huey in the face-off dot here. Outlaws lead 15-5 with 5:11 remaining in the third period here. Ball grabbed by Teller. Teller to McCormick, to Mitchell. Look, that's McCormick with the ball. Tries to jam it short side to Kuhn. Kuhn to Mitchell. Shoot around that seal. Goes over to McCormick. Stop by McLeod. Nice ball by McLeod. Just misses Richie Lucid on the B-way. Oh, Capella mishandles it. Crude come away with it, though. Picked up by Mitchell. Over to Kuhn. They've got numbers too if they want it. Big stop by McLeod on the quick stick. Good work by the Crude there running in transition. Ball picked up by Hain. Over to Shelton. Shelton, a Posse product. Picked off there by number 6.
Set it up.
6 with the ball. That's Lowe's for the Crude. Over to Teller. To Crunwell. To 24. Big stop by McLeod. He's got Harris on the breakaway. Over to Hain. The Outlaws have numbers if they want. Mishandles it. It's going Crude ball here. Kuhn to Runco. Runco being guarded by Richardson. To Teller. Teller being guarded by McKenna. Ran underneath by Jamison. He's got a B-way. Being guarded by Hackett. Scores. Far side high. Kyle Jamison on the B-way. Jamison, a Parkland Posse product, played for the Junior A Miners last year. Buries the breakaway. A 16-5 Outlaws lead. 3:22 left in the third period here from Jerome McGinley Arena on NetFront Sports. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Looks like we've got a lively comment section. It's going to be Booth and Huey at the face-off dot. And let's play some lacrosse here. Ball picked up by Crunwell there. To Mitchell. Over to Smith. Big stop by McLeod there. McLeod to Porter's down. He's got numbers too. Yeah. That's going to be a penalty on Smith. Hits Brownlee from behind there. Porter's wide open, yeah. That's probably going to be a high stick, too. Lots of stick swinging going on there. Ball picked up by Mitchell. Outside shot. Gets by a stop by Capella there, but Outlaws retrieve the ball. 46, that is Lewis. Off the post, maybe sounded like. Yeah, that's a reset. Tried to jam it short side. Manning on the crease. Brownlee stopped by Capella. It's going to be Smith here on the penalty. Outlaws to the power play. Check from behind. Smith. It's going to be a Outlaws power play. 2:20 left in this game. Brownlee to Lewis. Back to Brownlee. To Mitchell behind the net. Mitchell with the dunk. Almost had it there. Booth picks it up. Booth being guarded by Hayne there. Just wasting the clock. Ball's going to be picked up by Cook. Ball's with Lewis here. It's going up top to Brownlee. To Hildebrand. To Brownlee. To Hildebrand. To Brownlee. To Lewis. Back to Brownlee. To Hildebrand. Around the seal, shoot, stopped by Capella. Ball picked up there by Lewis. To Brownlee, back to Lewis. To Manning, to Lewis. Find the net to Mitchell. To Lewis. Big stop by Capella there. Lewis tried to go short side high. Ball picked up in the corner by Mitchell. Mitchell to Hildebrand, to Brownlee, to Lewis, to Manning, to Brownlee, to Manning, to Hildebrand, to Brownlee in the middle, to Mitchell, jump shot, stopped by Capella. Hildebrand runs into Scheck there. Big hit by Hildebrand. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell with the ball. He's just going to run the clock out here. The final score is going to be 16-5 Beaumont Outlaws over the St. Albert Crude. 61 shots for the Beaumont Outlaws, 46 for the Crude Lacrosse Club from Aikinsdale Arena, formerly Aikinsdale Arena, now Jerome McGinley Arena, live on NetFront Sports. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and have a happy Father's Day. This is Garen Schmerman signing off.